You also, by the way, the president has a sense of humor. Tell us about how you went to Harvard.
No. I know that the Anglo-Saxon community, they're very impressed by Oxford, Cambridge, for those, the British, etc., Commonwealth people. Very impressed hearing the words Oxford and Cambridge. And for the American oriented people, very impressed by Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Cornell. So I understood that. So one day I was in a reception. It was the Queen's birthday, I think. Queen's birthday in Jakarta, and I was there with my deputies. I was chairman of the party, he was the deputy chairman. He graduated from the London School of Economics. So in the reception, all the young British diplomats surrounded him and didn't address me at all, right? So why? Because I keep hearing, oh, Excellency, you graduated from LSE, London, and so my deputy was saying yes. And so then I, wanting some attention, I broke in. I said, actually, I went to Oxford, and they all changed their attention to me. They surrounded me, and, oh, which college did you go to? No, actually, I went to the bookstore in Oxford. But no, this works every time. It works every time. Just now, a few minutes ago, I think there was Ted Oisius, yeah? Ted was there with William, right? And apparently both of them were graduates of Harvard, right? So they were very proud of it, So they mentioned it, yeah, we are Harvard graduates, same class, 1984, right? He said. So, I didn't want to lose out, so I said, no, I also went to Harvard. So Ted comes, wait, which college did you go to? I said, no, I went to the bookstore in Harvard. I got him, so it works every time.
Well, you come from a very distinguished family. Your grandfather was a founder of a very notable bank, and your father was a brilliant economist who served Sukarno hard, but also was not afraid to try to make a change when he thought one was needed. So, your father helped shape your philosophy. So, given your family background, how did they shape your economic thinking?
I think you are correct, because my grandfather lived in the times of in the colony of Holland, of Netherlands. My father went to school in Netherlands and graduated there in economics, and so this was the 40s, right? And then, of course, we were in the middle of this great, let us say, upheaval, fighting for our independence. So my father came back. And at that time, to be very frank, most of the leaders of Asia, Africa, the leaders, the elite, were basically socialists. Because at that time, socialism, in fact, even Marxism, communism, they were the movement that really advocated for freedom against the colonialists and the imperialists. I think that's why a lot of Asian, African leaders, movements of the young were practically left-wing socialists. Many were communists, and my father was also a socialist in his young days. In fact, he was a leader of the Socialist Party of Indonesia. But then I think what influenced him a lot was when he was by our leaders to the New York, to the United Nations to represent Indonesia, lobby for Indonesia. And he was there, and there he made friendship with a lot of American leaders who basically were business leaders, who were capitalists. But many American capitalists in those days and leaders were also anti-imperialist and anti-colonialism. They were against all this colonial and imperialist movement, and America at that time was in the forefront of actually basically forcing the European colonial powers to decolonize. So I think that's my father got, and he was helped a lot by many American business leaders. He always talked of this Matthew Fox, I think. Matthew B. Fox. It was at that time, I think, the founder of 20th Century Fox, I think, who became a good friend of my father and always helped the Indonesian independence movement. So it's very interesting. So when he came back from the US, in the early days of our independence, he became quite, I would say, even balanced. Of course, the thinking was always socialistic, but he understood that actually capitalism, free enterprise, really had something that's very important. And that was his thinking. In the end, of course, I was a young boy. I said, "So, Father, what is the best economic system according to you, Father?" And he said, "Actually, the best economic system for us, for Indonesia, must be a mixed economic system. It must be, we must take the best of capitalism and the best of socialism." And I think this is now, I think it's growing to be the mainstream thinking. For instance, this is the same thinking, I think, as the third way of Tony Blair, the middle way. So I don't think in the 21st century world we can opt for one set of thinking, one set of philosophy that works for everybody. It must be, I think we need to find each country the system that works for our country. That's my opinion.